I transferred here as an 8th grader back in the fall of 1988, and I really loved my experience here. One of the things that really stood out to me was advising. One of the things that really stood out to me was the academic rigor that was absent from the school I came from. Also, with regard to the Northridge Middle School, was this sense of belonging, sense of being part of something. Classes were small enough to where you could really feel that you knew everybody and knew them well enough to feel at home, to feel that you belong there. We focused on trying to, for obviously preparation for high school. And as a history teacher, English teacher, religion teacher, one of the things I focus on is writing. When you look ahead at the educational future for these boys, when you get to be 18, 19, your first year of college, you don't do tests, you do writing. And that's the biggest emphasis that you have. Therefore, one of the things we do in middle school is try to have writing all across the board, making sure the kids are actually putting pen to paper in full thoughts, full paragraphs, full essays, that kind of thing. It's one thing we do in the curriculum. Other thing we do is make sure that it is challenging enough but not unapproachable. That is, obviously that's a balance, obviously that's threading a needle, but we're able to do it. We're able to have where people achieve and they feel like they've achieved through hard work, not achieved because it's handed to them.
One of the most challenging tasks that we have at Northridge is the selection of our faculty members. Our teachers are highly prepared educators who above all have highly defined standards and are more than willing to share knowledge and offer our students the best opportunities for their formation as great men.
We're the hardest working faculty in the Chicago area. I think one of the things we do is, I think you see people working hard. You see people going the extra mile. There's almost nobody leaving at 3:15 when school ends. There's almost nobody. People are almost always here at 4:30 and after.
Athletics at Northridge are an integral part of our school curriculum. In fact, we see the athletic department and the athletic program as an extension of our mission, whereby we attempt to help all of our participants in the sports programs to develop character, grow in virtue, and become, at least put them on a path, or help put them on a path to becoming mature young adults. In any given year, approximately 65% of our students are involved in one or more sports. So we have great participation, and many of those are multiple sport athletes. In addition, we have a very spirited, I guess I should say, super fan section that supports all of our sports. We have students also involved in our managerial roles, helping the athletic trainer in his duties. So we try and incorporate and involve as many students as possible in the athletic program.
We have students of all levels participating, beginners, intermediate, more advanced. And that's what's great about the athletics. It's that the boys of all abilities come together to participate, which unifies them.
We do compete at a very high level, and that's largely due to the commitment and the hard work of our athletes, the support that we receive from their families. And if you look at our trophy cases and the walls in our gym, we have banners that signify the championships that have been won here in every sport. Our goals, although they might be to win a conference championship or to compete at a state level, those are really secondary goals. Our primary goals are to teach our individuals how to get the most out of themselves and how to work well within a team concept. Ultimately, we see our coaches as mentors and educators, not simply as coaches of a particular sport. So we try to bring on board men that understand the bigger vision and the bigger and larger purpose of our program.
The arts program, I think, is an essential part of education, and it's for this reason, is that we're cultivating the intellectual development of the young person, but also in something that has an artistic value and that both they can appreciate as well as people outside who come to see them perform. I think another element of the, let's say, educational value of the music program is the extent to which discipline is rewarded, if you practice well, if you work together as a team, it sounds good.
Northridge is about educating the entire person, and we do a very fine job academically here, and I think our sports program is very, very multifaceted and allows the boys to participate in many, many different types of activities. The one activity that I like to emphasize for the boys to kind of well round them out are the arts. We have, I think, one of the best drama and music programs of any school of our size in the state of Illinois.
We have the instruments and the equipment, and we're given the time by the administration to prepare. And so those things are tremendous value. And I think it's important for people to appreciate all of that is needed, and that's what goes into having an excellent program. Probably the biggest thing that the students learn from the arts is that when you put in quality effort and you try to see quality in what you do, you get the most out of it. When you see the work that goes into it and the fact that you've done that, I think it really rewards discipline and effort and work with unity with others. And between the choir, the band, the plays that we put on twice a year, I would say probably half the student body is involved with one of those.
It's amazing for me to see a shy young man who does not necessarily put himself forward. You put him on stage and it becomes a completely different personality. I can't explain what happens to someone when you put them on the stage. It's a great way to fill them out. It's a great way to help them to find out who they really are as a person, to kind of recreate themselves. And that makes them grow as a man. It's important for people to realize that boys are multidimensional, and sports are a wonderful thing for them. We need that. But there's a creative side too, and the boys need to have that opportunity, and I think we provide that here.
One of the things we're trying to do here at Northridge, I think, in terms of the faith, in terms of Christian ideals, is to make it something that is natural. Right? We try to teach boys that dealing with God and living your faith is not something for just extraordinary circumstances, not even something just for once a week where you go to Mass on Sunday, or when some big event happens in your life. But rather, every day is a chance to live your faith. Every day is a chance to be close to God, right? Because God is there, right? God is everywhere. And so we try to share that with the boys, that the faith should be something that goes with your life hand in hand, right? Like a glove that fits your hand. There's no separation between life and faith. Rather, life for a Christian is the faith lived. It's the faith become you.
At Northridge, our fundamental mission is to support parents in the task of raising their sons to become competent, responsible, considerate men who are committed to live by principles of integrity all of their lives. How they will turn out as adults is the driving force behind every teacher, coach, and advisor at Northridge. Northridge emphasizes the necessity of being a man of character, getting a great education while planning a noble career, serving the men and women one encounters, learning to love as both a husband and a father, growing in friendship, recognizing nonsense when it's heard, and having the courage to be a patriotic citizen, and finally learning to pray as a son of God in the middle of the world. This final goal is the mortar that holds everything else together. Northridge wants for your son what we all want from life: happiness.